Punisher Comics. Come get some.
Hey everybody, Punisher Comics here, and it is finally time for my review of Star Wars The Last Jedi. So, without further ado, let's get to this review, shall we? So, the Resistance, led by General Leia, are on the run, and as the First Order close in, their only hope is if Rey can tempt Jedi Master Luke Skywalker back to the fight. Ooh. Now, this next part here, I'm not going to bother trying to imitate Luke Skywalker, so I'm just going to say the line he says. This is not going to go the way you think. Luke Skywalker warns Rey on the Jedi Temple Island of Acto, or however the heck you say it. This is Star Wars. There's so many weird names out there. Anyway, so it sounds like a quote designed for a trailer, but now feels like the opening line from Rian Johnson's pitch. So The Last Jedi really delivers basically everything you want from a Star Wars movie. Fierce lightsaber action, space dogfights, exotic creatures, people of British telly as bad guys. Hello, Aid Edmondson as a First Order officer. Yeah, I got that one. But really layers it with story twists, character arcs, and an emotional wallop that you could never have predicted. Now, it doesn't all work, as a lot of fans have vocally pointed out over the interwebs, but it's a long time since a huge franchise movie has really delivered the thrills and feels in such a surprising way. Now, this rug pulling starts from the get-go. I mean, for all those who felt episode 8 would start with a lightsaber handover, when it happens, that moment is, though, fantastically throwaway. Johnson really launches into a breakneck sequence of the Resistance basically evacuating their base as the First Order attack. Now, out of this melee, everyone gets more to do. Poe Dameron is both flyboy and military leader, butting heads with Vice Admiral Amelin Holdo. Finn joins maintenance worker Royce Tico on a mission to disable the First Order's tracking device that now works through hyperspace. And on the dark side, Supreme Leader Snoke, more formidable in person than in hologram, plays Kylo Ren and General Hux off against each other. Hell, even BB-8 gets bigger action licks rather than cute comedy aside. It's awesome! And before I continue, I will say this. I know there's still a few out there who still haven't seen Star Wars The Last Jedi, so let me continue by saying, spoiler alert! Okay, you've been warned. So, still, excuse me, if Episode 7 was Han Solo's movie, then Episode 8 definitely belongs to Luke. Whether it's stepping back onto the Millennium Falcon, and believe me, it's a, really hard heart that doesn't melt when he meets R2. I mean, come on, or, learning to live with regrets. I mean, Hamill crafts in a moving performance, perfectly capturing how a gosh and jolly farm boy can become sarcastic and just embittered. What I mean? A more assured Ridley also stands toe-to-toe with him, which is so cool. But it's even better in her relationship with Ben Solo. I mean, Johnson's conception of their bond is potentially embarrassing. Ridley and Driver not only make it work, but they make it gripping. So there's something there. And then, of course, time and again, Johnson finds a cinematic grammar that feels new to Star Wars. Big close-ups, like tender touching hands, top shots, elegant camera tracks, and pulling out in-world sound, leaving just music and image, all these cool things. In fact, there's a moment involving Leia that is as poetic as the series has ever been, and Johnson isn't afraid to go trippy either. I mean, a scene in which a character repeatedly clicks their fingers could have come from a 60s art house flick, if you ask me. And this is also the first Star Wars film to heavily indulge in flashback as opposed to visions and whatnot. And be warned, those revelations will prove divisive. Just putting that out there. But happily, though, Johnson gets Star Wars too. I mean, his action is thrilling but elegant. There is the most nonchalant lightsaber kill yet, but anyway. He's not afraid to embrace the cornball, but never goes too cute. I mean, the porgs, not as adorable as you hoped, nor as irritating as you feared. They're right there in the middle. they're balancing on that fine line. Anyway, so the porgs are the butt of the film's darkest gag. Hell, even the art of comedy. I mean, Imperial officers, have returned and whatnot. I mean, it's great. But he really gets Star Wars in the respect he affords. Leia, or the way he understands the emotional weight of golden dice passed between characters. I mean, it's all good, So for the ones out there who really put this movie down, I don't get it. Anyway. Everyone's entitled to their own beliefs and whatnot, and views and everything. So I won't go into, those who said this movie was bad should rethink. I'm not going to do that. That's not me. Anyway, I will be honest though. As much as I really like the movie, it doesn't all work. Yes, this isn't a perfect review. You see, the middle section of the movie kind of loses its shape and is, well, subject to some wrongdoings. I mean, Finn and Rose's mission takes them to Canto Bight, a kind of Monte Carlo peopled by extras from Babylon 5, and feels like it was just, ticking the weird alien bar box started by the cantina. A ride on space horses also feels like a needless diversion, as does Benicio del Toro's Space Rogue, whose strange, presence never really makes its mark. It's just, I don't know, those couple scenes just feel meh. To quote good off-air buddy Vincenzo C. But in its last hour, though, I find Rian Johnson really serves up bold, gut-wrenching narrative moves you should discover on your own. I mean, throughout, there are beats from The Empire Strikes Back playbook, of course, a version of the Dark Side Cave, walkers and speeders battling across a glacial plain, but it's not the dark middle act. It's a multicolored adventure that kind of juggles different moods and tones. And Johnson even bravely channels Return of the Jedi, believe it or not, to the extent that Episode 8 wraps up, leaving Episode 9 with almost a clean slate. For an Act 2 is no mean feat. So if The Force Awakens raised a lot of questions, this tackles them head on. I mean, fun, funny, but with emotional heft to it. I mean, this is a mouth-watering setup for Episode 9, and if you ask me, a fitting tribute to our princess, Carrie Fisher. And with that being said, folks, that's my review of Star Wars The Last Jedi. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to give her a thumbs up. If not, give her a thumbs down. And if you enjoy movie reviews like this one, well, make sure to check out the playlist I put together of some of my other movie reviews. There's not a lot of them, but there's a good chunk there to keep you occupied for a while. I mean, if you just want to hear this mug talk about certain movies, put it on in the background kind of deal while you're doing your housework or something, or you just need some background noise while you're doing your own thing. Anyway, so yeah, make sure to check that out as well. While taking a look around my channel, make sure to comment on any video you like, because I love reading them as well as answering them. And also, while looking around, make sure to like or dislike any video you watch. Yes, I did say dislike, because let's face it, no one's perfect, right? And then, when all is said and done, before leaving, make sure to click that subscribe button. Alrighty, so that's it for me. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys back here on Wednesday for another edition of, or for another, however the hell you want to say it, for another weekly dose of lame comic book character goodness. So till then, folks, I'm Punisher Comics, and I am